Right, this day I was going to get in some plyometric exercises, and I had sort of thought the explosive nature of something like side to side jumps was going to challenge the area of the low back that I've been recovering from over the last few days. And I wanted to really find out to what extent I was able to get some more dynamic movements in that were challenging rotation and amortization in the lower part of the low back. So I was going in somewhat easily on that, but it was very important for me to find out if any of those things were no-go at the moment. I started off with some loaded jumps, squat jumps here, and I wasn't really feeling any discomfort there, but I wasn't really expecting anything wrong to be happening in that situation. The forces at play are mainly going up and down, and there isn't really a stress, rotational stress on the spine, which was something that, since the pain was localized in the lower right side of the back, was going to be brought up with something that was challenging more lateral shifting, something like a force that goes perpendicularly to the ideal stacking of the joints. And also the eccentrics on the handstand push-ups were a bit of a step up on the simple holds, so another thing that I was keeping my eyes on. Now, looking at these side-to-side jumps, they look the easiest thing in the world, and they are. There is a bit of a balancing component. I'm trying to not spend too much time on the floor, so trying to make it as plyometric and explosive as I can. But I was noticing that the amortization phase, when I am trying to reverse from going to the right or to the left into the opposite direction, was highlighting a bit of weakness in the low back. I was noticing somewhat of a discomfort, like signals of alarm coming out from there. And I may have made a mistake in doing 3 sets of those. I was feeling that in the first set, but it wasn't really that bad. And then when the second set came up, I started also feeling like the body was telling me, did you not understand when I told you nicely earlier that this probably is not the best thing to do? Must you really do it again, really trying to see what my limit is at the moment? Can you not just realize that one set was good enough, and let's come back next time? Hopefully I'll be stronger then. So I probably made a mistake in that, but I wasn't really pushing so hard that I injured myself or anything. And also, as I've been saying over the past few days, I am being very, very aware of not really doing anything that can potentially compromise the recovery from the injury that just happened a few days ago. But there is a part of me that must know, must find out what is the range of motion, what is the force that I can apply to something that is bearable, and then I can use as a form of exercise. And in order to find that out, I need to get to painful parts of the range of motion, or use a weight that is too much. Because if I don't find that out, if I don't realize what I cannot do, then it is very difficult for me to set up an action plan of what I can do that is actually meaningful exercise, and not just doing fluff movement that is not really eliciting an adaptation that is then taking me back onto the road of some progress, or at least doesn't really help that much, and it's just active rest, which is a great thing, and it's what I'm doing most of the day anyways. So the short times that I take for my workout sessions, which never really go over an hour, to be honest, need to be tailored in a way that everything that I'm doing has some meaning. And not only that, it also needs to be fun to perform. There are a lot of exercises that I thought about doing that weren't really that enticing, simply because they involved very long times in isometrics, something like the stuff that I did just the day after I injured my low back. So I was taking it super extra carefully then. But stuff like the side planks on the floor for a minute, and really that Superman position where I am arching my back and I'm trying to stay in that position, firing all my back muscles, all my posterior chain, isometrically trying to get as much blood pumping in there. It's a good thing. I wouldn't be using those as main exercises in one of my sessions. I would do them on a grease the groove basis if I'm at home, or early in the morning before cycling to work, or just before going to the gym as a bit of a warm up of sorts, just trying to pry the area, see if anything is going wrong. So it was very important for me to get exercises that I knew I was able to perform, and that also meant that some of those were giving me a bit of a negative feedback, but this is what it's all about, trying to find what the best way is to navigate through the lifting journey, I guess. Ciao.